Gentlemen,
Yes, Gabby.
what's going on?
Good.
Super. Huh?
How are you, man? How are you guys?
Doing
Good.
well.
You?
How did your lesson go with Jay Cooney yesterday? Are you more confused than when you started?
Oh my God, Gabby. he he moved like the so easy, and then we say, "Oh my gosh, what?" I
Yeah.
record that. I record that on my cell phone so I can go back and then understand what you guys talk about. Too much technology for Coach Kleberson.
Oh, it's brutal.
Oh my God.
And I understand what he's talking about, and that's even hard for me. So
Yeah.
good luck. If you need help, let me know.
Computer stuff?
I will.
Yeah. Just like clipping games, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That is
I
fun.
can
morning, boys.
I can barely do a PowerPoint these days.
Yeah, Jay's on another level.
Good morning, guys. Everyone missing?
Good morning.
Everyone like missing the school?
Now you are.
Yeah. What happened to you guys? You guys so quiet this morning. Everybody sleep later yesterday?
Yeah, they look like they just woke up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who here watched the highlights from Luis Saha?
I did.
Me. I
Yeah.
did.
Same.
What do you thought about him?
Crazy.
Yo, he a great finisher. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
He has a great touch too.
Yes.
yeah,
Especially his directional.
yeah. He's so dangerous on a final third, no?
Yeah.
Just a little space for him.
He literally needs an inch to finish.
Is he left or right footed?
Lefty.
Ah, there we go.
There was one, I think it was against like Reading. There were two defenders on him, and he like used his chest.
Yeah, he made all of them like go the wrong way.
Yeah,
He
that was.
just turned and finished. I was like, oh my God.
You see the volley?
Yes. Yo.
That one was nice.
Dude,
He was gonna chip him, but then the goalie went back.
You guys should have saw him in the training session, guys. When you training, and then we have a couple shooting or crossing to the goal. It's unbelievable.
Kleb, was Ruud Van Nistelrooy still there? He was there, right, during that time as well, or no?
Yeah, Van Nistelrooy is there.
Yeah. There was
yo, Mateus.
some decent finishers right there.
Yeah, he was okay.
Real first.
Yeah, right.
Van Nistelrooy.
One of them, Ryan Giggs, saved the ball, and it was like amazing. He saved the ball for an easy goal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was amazed by that.
Where's everyone else? I don't know.
Callan, I thought I didn't notice that was a brim. I thought that was like you had a nice little box going there with a haircut.
He's a big fan of the hats, always rocking the hat.
I thought it was a flat top.
That'd be a good look. Almost as good as his mustache.
Yo, I hate online school so much.
Yeah, same.
Same.
I'd rather just be in school. Now I appreciate how much school is, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Before I used to hate it.
We might have to take
Yeah,
school during
when
the
I got
summer.
out of school, I was like, oh yay, we're gone for 2 weeks, and now it's been over a month. I was like, oh my.
And the worst thing about it is they give us more work than we would have in school.
Yeah. It takes an hour for me just to do one project.
Yeah, you guys should see the faces. How many projects the
I
coach
fin. Luckily, I finished my work. Luckily, I finished my work around like 11:45.
Yeah, I finished my work at 12.
It's probably if I wake up early, it depends. If I wake up early, I might finish at like 10. If I don't, 12.
I start at 11 and then I finish at 1.
You started at 11?
Coaching on the
Yeah, I
field is
started
much
at
more
11.
fun.
I started at 9.
Guys, he jumped.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes.
my friend. Ça va?
Yes. Well. How are you, man?
Oh, great, man. Oh, great.
Yeah.
A pleasure to have you here with us, man. Thank you for have a time to join with us in that meeting. And
No, it's pleasure.
the kids watching your highlights. I send the kids and the boys so exciting to hear about you, about when you're playing, about your.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Good.
We haven't
Good. So,
have a day meeting that's our boys U12, and then we have like the staff on that meeting too. We meeting Quinto Fortune, Rio Ferdinand, Kaká, and then just share the experience on the field with the kids, and the kids love that. And then we're glad to have you here because you're phenomenal in the front the goal. You score like amazing goals when you're in the Man United or Fulham, and then we want to improve our boys here in America to get like very good soccer player to increase the soccer here in America. And then that's a great opportunity to like talk with like a landed player, and then of course learn a little bit. Coach Matt, Coach Kevin, want to say something for Louis before we start this?
Yeah, no, it's just it's a pleasure having you, and yeah, we've been pretty fortunate to have some other fantastic players as well come and talk to the boys. But it's a pleasure to have you. So thanks for coming.
a pleasure, really a pleasure. I'm always like really looking forward to give insight and stories, or maybe whatever advice I can, because this is we're old enough to do it. We have passed a few letters, and so we know that is tough sometimes, and you go through things could be an example for younger ones. So this is all about education.
Awesome.
So how are you doing with the confinement and all that crisis? It's like you're all safe and good, guys.
Yeah, we try to keep everyone at home and safe. We start to do like a couple working like a virtual training with the boys. We send like a couple exercise, and then we did it together on a Zoom call. So the kids like still have like engage on our program and a training session. I think that's a great opportunity to the boys watch a games, working technical stuff, and be strong when the seasons go back, and then everyone on a good level.
Good. So who are the strikers here? Who are the strikers?
Me.
Ah, Mikhail. Okay.
Me, I'm a striker.
Who else?
I'm a striker, Jameer.
I'm a striker.
Who is talking? Sorry.
Garner and Jameer.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice.
Yeah, you have a.
So what is your qualities? What is your skills? Are you fast or are you strong or just a killer
Fast.
from the goal?
Fast.
I'm good at shooting and I'm good at both feet.
Good. I like that. Good, good.
Both feet, fast, and strong, I guess.
Okay.
Good. Guys, you guys are open to asking any questions for Louis if you guys want.
I have a question.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
What was it like playing with Ronaldo and Rooney?
I could say that it was kind of almost natural because those guys are so good in reading the game. So they were really looking into how can use my runs, how you can use my strength, how they can use my quality, and they, especially Wayne Rooney was so strong as identifying my weaknesses. So basically, if I couldn't run that much, he was doing the running for me. It was like a coming shot, and I wanted to go the other way. It was very yeah, in song with their partners, so it was very good. Cristiano was just like sometimes a challenge, as you know, Kleber, because it was very difficult to read. You know, you can't really know if he's gonna use you, pass the ball, or dribble and strike the ball. But it was really good in terms of the motivation because those guys really work really hard, want really badly to score goals, to assist, and to win games. So it was amazing because every day, you know that you have to improve every day. Yeah, there is like no one day that they're happy with what they done. They want more. Even they score 3 goals, they want more. If they want to win games and trophy, they want more. So it's all about like improving. And I'm sure that if you look at Cristiano, he's still in the gym. He's still doing a lot of things. It was just amazing.
Yep. Thank you.
I have a question. What was your experience with Everton?
Yeah, Everton was a very interesting challenge for me because I left pretty much like all the club that I choose was club that play a certain style, like really offensive, like ball on the floor. And you know, when you leave United in some way, you go down. You know, for me it was like, sure, with no disrespect, maybe a few clubs only are above United. So I knew it would be a different style, but it was a bit of a shock because Everton was like really asked me a lot physically, mentally, because it was like really hard way of playing, especially forward. You have to defend a lot. Yeah, it was a bit tough, but I really liked the challenge because I wanted to see that I was able to adapt because you can't have in life what you always want. And if you want to discover yourself, you have to go outside your comfort zone. So I really like the challenge because it developed my skills as well because I had to protect myself better. I had to play differently. So I grow, yeah, I grow as a player, especially tactically. So it was very important to look at all the details. But when you play with Kleber, with Ronaldo, Rooney, and all that, it's easy, you know, because you play with the best players. You know, they're gonna give you good balls. But they was like.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You say first.
Who's the hardest defender you played against?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Who was the hardest defender you played against?
I like to say that you know, it's not being like arrogant or being too confident in some way, but as a striker, I will always believe or strong or not. I always believe that one-on-one, I can score goals. So I was not or never afraid about one defender. I was more afraid about 2 defenders. You know, the complementarity, the way they play. someone going to be very strong and the other one will be very smart. And this is what I was struggling a bit. But if you face like two similar players, like two strong defenders, I know that I would have like, I think I could have like managed. So I never really, not about respect, I respect the defenders, but I never been afraid. It was more, for example, I really dislike play against Ferdinand and Vidic, because they were like, one was like really technical and the other one was really tough. So, you know, if I go and I was like physical enough for passing Vidic, I had like Rio Ferdinand who had read my run or read my skills, bang, he pick up the ball. So it's more about a pair. And if you are playing as a striker, you will have to, in some way, confidently, overconfident, to always believe that no defender can stop you. You have to almost believe in that, because this is the way to do a thing that maybe is not expected. It's like really gonna surprise the defender because, oh, hang on a minute, I was not expecting that. So you always have that belief in you.
Question.
Yeah.
What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment out of your whole career?
Sorry?
What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment out of your whole career?
Wow. Yeah, I did score goals. I did win trophies. I did had a few caps for my country, played in big competition. But if you are a football professional, by having like always that drive to improve every day, whatever I would have made it as a professional or not, my aim was to do the best that I could. Really, it was that. I'm proud of that because yes, I did manage to be a football player, but it's based on this. I was like able to fulfill that thing. I never cheated and I never feel frustrated or badly feel with regrets because I always give my best. And this is what I'm really proud. But if I remember one moment in particular, obviously will be to represent my country because I'm very proud of my country. And to say that French people and all the people that love France watch a game where I was like with Zidane and all that mean a lot, especially to my family.
I have a question.
I have a question.
What did you learn from playing with so many teams?
Sorry?
What did you learn from playing with a lot of teams?
With a lot of teams? Sorry, can you repeat?
What did you learn from playing with like so many teams?
So many teams. Yeah. Because all teams have different managers, different atmosphere of work, different, I would say, type of pressure. Sometimes it's all about your age. You know, I was young to have like one team, a particular team was like really important for me to develop. And then to go to a bigger club, if I maybe had like went to United when I was 21, I would have maybe not be ready mentally. So all those clubs was steps for me to learn and to grow my confidence and my game. So based on that, I think that all the clubs has or had a kind of like role to my understanding of my game. And my personality, because it's not about only football. It's about life and how you grow as a man, and be confident always. All going through, you have like doubts. You may face one manager that's not gonna play you, not gonna praise you, but it's just one opinion, one guy. It doesn't stop you to be who you want to be. So basically, your coach are great today, but maybe the next one could be bad, and you have to grow. Even on the bad ones, you have to take the positive because you challenge yourself and all that. So I always felt like those steps were really important, really, really important.
Thank you.
I have a question. How would you gain confidence during the game?
Yeah, before games, because I'm come from West Indies. I'm very relaxed, you know, very, very relaxed. I take football as a gift. It's just like as a Brazilian, you know, it's like Brazilian, they want to sing, to have smile, you know, and this is my preparation. I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and basically, if I find a way to have no fear, less pressure, I will express my quality, my talent. So I always, in terms of preparation, focus on my qualities. I will never feel like, oh yes, I'm tired, or I've got injury, or I'm not confident because I didn't score. I always say, oh yes, I'm sure I'm going to score. I'm sure I'm going to do damage to my defenders. And if I play for the strikers, especially, I always like tend to look at their picture or who they are, and try to always look at their faces, and to always feel like they're struggling. They need to show me that they are not comfortable. And for that, I know that I'm on my game, because I'm very focused on one particular aspect of my contribution for my team. If my two defenders that I play against are struggling, I know I'm doing a good job.
I have a question. What did it feel like scoring a goal in front of 50,000 fans?
It's brilliant. It's really hard to describe. Some people say that you go into a zone where you don't even realize you don't breathe. It's just like so intense. The thing is, like, I'm not really aware of the environment as much as people think, because I'm putting more pressure on me by me. I will feel more pressure because I feel like I didn't do the right thing and I should have done. I always put pressure on me. So even if I don't think that a lot of managers has come and say, "Oh, Louis, you should have done this," and you know, like in a bad way. And so the fans, you know, I don't remember fans like put a lot of pressure on me. So I never really look at the fans and the numbers and all that. I love more the actual interactivity. So when I, for example, remember going to Celtic, I played over there at City Park, and it was like a really massive atmosphere. I felt it because I really wanted to enjoy, because everybody has talked to me about Celtic Park and all that. So scoring a goals is more, for me, it was more about the team. And if you say that, or you ask that for Van Nistelrooy would say, no, I wanted to score many goals for me. It was really like, and that's why he was so great striker, because he was so focused on scoring more goals for him. Me, it was, I could say, if I score 2 goals, I feel happy. You know, him, no. If he can score 5, he score 5. So different mentality, you know. So I would always felt like, oh yes, that was part of what I should have done. And so very special. I can't really explain with words, but on the same way, I was very obsessed about improvements. So when I score, I wanted to help the team even more, and it was really strange. I never really enjoy, you know, as much.
Thanks.
I have a question.
I have a question. What's your favorite goal you've ever scored?
It's it's hard one, but I love all the first goal I score for my club and country. It's strange because it always been the foundation of my confidence and all that. So the first goal I scored, guys, was on my first touch for my first club, a professional club in Metz, in France. And so Robert Pires, if you remember, or if you know him, guys, passed me the ball and I scored my first goal on my first touch. Then the referee blow. It was the end of the game, and it was my first massive moment in my life as a professional. So I always remember this one because it built your confidence to be a professional. Then obviously I scored some goals for Fulham and other clubs, but the first one for my country, when you score for your country, and Zidane who passed me the ball. There is no.
Thanks.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
I see that you're really good at controlling the ball in the direction you want to finish in and finishing volleys. If you had to choose your favorite drill on finishing, which would it be?
My favorite what?
Drill on finishing? What would it be?
Ah, yes. Always like love to go on because you barely go into the goal straightforward. So I always like to touch, as you mentioned, like touch the ball at the back of my the goal is on my back, and I have to have that first touch, and then I'm on the side, whatever is right or left. Always like take. I don't like the ball like being perfect from crosses, for example, because I know that there is defenders and all those things. I like to have like a proper drill where the ball is some kind of like the same way you could be in a game. So the ball coming and I touch and have to have like a very short moment to strike the ball. This is basically what I really like because in a game you don't have the time to think. So it's just like it's really rare. It was not my strength to actually take the time to pick the spot or something like this. It was really about instinct. So in my training was all about instinct. Everything I have to bounce back or something like need to be unexpected to make my decision super fast. And this is where I actually been really good at as a striker is to operate fast. If I've been asked to take the time and I'm shit, I'm really bad.
I have a question. What team you wanted to play a different position than striker?
Sorry, you cut off a little bit.
Did you ever want to play a different position than striker?
Actually, I started as a winger. So I was like, I'm right-footed, but basically I had kind of an injury on my right groin. So I started to play with my left and I managed to be very agile with it. So I started to play left wing. And when I started to play left wing, I could use my right when I was dribbling in and strike. So I find that like I scored a lot of goals like this. Also, I really liked it because I was scoring goals. But eventually, funny story short, I had an accident when I started to drive. And it was my wake-up call where I wanted to be the one, I wanted to be more involved, scoring more goals, be the one to be praised. So I had that ego where I wanted to be more involved in a game where it was a bit more me, because yes, I felt like I was lucky to be still alive. And I just didn't want to give that opportunity away because I really love the actual feeling of scoring goals. It was just my aim. But initially, I was not really a killer in front of the goal. I managed to be a killer when I went to Fulham because the manager gave me the confidence, give me the actual understanding of my ability. So I didn't know I could jump that high, for example. So I could be a holding striker where I could sit there and people can say, yes, you're going to hold the ball. So I didn't know that. I thought I was a proper winger where I only like skills and crosses. No, I was a bit more than that. And I could come as well into pockets. So I was allowing other strikers or other wingers to come in my back and use my runs. All that was like really because at the time, you can see that now it's like the strikers or the proper strikers are dying. There is no much like the big guy, not very mobile and all that. It's more about kind of wingers, type of new type of strikers. But back in the day, the striker was like someone who was really strong and can hold on like any pressure. Now it's not that anymore. So back at the time, I don't really think that I had the quality to do that.
I got a question. When you went to Newcastle and then it was your first season there and then they got the promotion, how did it feel?
The promotion from Newcastle or for Fulham?
Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle was it's a funny one because I arrived there. Ruud Gullit at the time wanted a different type of striker. and I wasn't speaking English very well. So arrive in Newcastle, the actual, the accent is really strong. So it was really hard to understand those guys, really hard. And but I managed because I did try hard in a way to communicate, to show my happiness. Where when I arrived, when I was at my previous club, it was very serious, and it was not my mentality. I need to play with people who want to enjoy and enjoy with the fans and play for the skills of the players, not for like defending and all that. So Newcastle was like all that, and I played with Shearer. It was like the big legend at the time. I was really young, and I remember arriving into the dressing room the first few days of training and game, where I see Alan Shearer really relaxed and singing in the dressing room. When before in the other clubs, there is no noise, no people were talking, and so I felt really comfortable. So it depends of who you're working with, and I really remember those moments where it was a wake-up call, because those people make me welcome. They understand my quality, and they wanted to only play on my quality, dribbling, scoring, being fast, and all that. So it was really, really good. So that's why after I said I don't want to go back to France.
I have a question. What team did you enjoy playing with most?
Definitely United, because I felt like I was in total connection with. I could see inner eyes of everybody, and you can see a winner. You can see somebody who want to win games. Some teams, some have a less confidence because they have maybe less quality, and the amount of players who already won something. Like when Kleber arrived, he won the World Cup. He arrived in my United. I was with those guys, and when I arrived, Van Nistelrooy want to score every goal. Cristiano want to improve every day. Rooney same, representing his country. Every player is a winner. So this was the best motivation I could ever find. I mean, like me, I'm a bad loser, so I want to win all the time, and I don't like people play instead of me. So I work harder. So all this was like the perfect combo for me to improve, which was my aim as a player. So I really enjoy United, because obviously we win trophy, but on the same time we challenge the top. It was just yes, that's what I want. It's like if you play FIFA, for example, guys, and you know that you have the skills to play on legend level. You play legend, because you want to play the hardest players, the hardest, teams. And I will never play with somebody who's like very weak, because I don't enjoy. So I felt exactly the same. I always like play with the top, and it was just like amazing because you feel like you contributed. It was really good.
Thank you.
I wanted to piggyback off that. I appreciate you coming out. I get to work with Kleb, so I'm pretty happy and lucky. Kleb's a quiet guy. He's very humble. So just to piggyback off that, what was playing with him like? What was he like as a player at Man U? I think these guys on his team get spoiled a bit. He's so
yeah.
He's so
they don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
they don't understand.
What was he like?
The guy is a genius. Of course, as like you have a certain type of personality. Some like to speak out. Some like are very confident in their ability. Some doesn't show, but they deliver on the pitch. Every time Kleber is more about like what is done on the pitch. It may not be super vocal and all that, but the actual something that is like very special. So no many players have that in midfield. Is able to link with the strikers super easily. I mean, like you need to have a blink of an eye like this, and Kleber will find you. So it was just like very natural to him to have that kind of like understanding where the player is gonna go, where he wants the weight of the ball. It's like very invincible, and seems like to be super easy. So people don't understand, but it's super efficient. So I was really impressed with that in the same way that you have to combine a lot of like, as I said, like understanding of the football. You know, when you defend, when you attack, all those things in midfield is very, very important. And having that role where you being a playmaker, it's like really there's a lot of information that you have to gather, combine and use the right way. And this is what I really impressed, because technically, even if you are super gifted, you have to take the time to analyze every single thing that I said and give the right pass, you know, the right moments. This is like really difficult, and Kleber was the master of this. Obviously, the surrounding that we have at United was like a lot of like fast player, a lot of like I would say difficult players to read. Some like Cristiano, for example. Sometimes he dribbles, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he go alone, and Giggs is the same on the other side. So sometimes it was really hard to understand all those factors because they change all the time. When Rooney was coming in short, then he want to defend as like a right back and come back. It was like really, really hard. So Kleber was like so clever in able to link everybody, you know, in some way, because as a playmaker, oh, he like to do this. Okay, the striker, I like to do that. Okay, all this information to make us play is really hard. So it's like it was one of the most talented player, and in a very discreet way, very talented.
He's the same way as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know that basically when you have like that Brazilian, I would say like magic in you, you know, is in your DNA. You have to actually then adapt a little bit, because European football is not the same. United is not the same, especially when Kleber arrived. It was a moment where it was a bit of a transition in the club. So remember Kleber, like you, Anderson arrived, Nani, all those were a bit outside the mold of United. You know, was really strong. A certain way was like very talented, but in the same way was not exotic. You know, and all those players arrived and changed a little bit. And Cristiano May was the best symbol, you know, because he was like really like a lot of like gesture you never seen apart from George Best in United. No one could be doing this. So it was very unique to have all those players who actually help us to modify ourselves. They have like modified the Premier League.
Awesome, guys. Awesome.
Thanks.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Gunnar.
Yeah. How did you stay so composed in front of goal?
Because I was felt that the goal was too big for a goalkeeper. So I always felt like, oh, if I don't score, I may have like the pressure to not score, but I'm sure like he can't cover all this. So the main thing for me was to strike on target. I just like really being very focused on shooting on target. Then even you have 50-50 that the goalkeeper will drop the ball and you pick up a rebound. So I always felt that it was very important to. Yet I was very annoyed. You won't see many times that I was like striking the ball very high. I was like really like trying to hit the ball on the floor because of that. Because I felt like the goalkeeper will drop the ball, and if it's not me, somebody else will pick up the rebound. So I always felt like your training routine will be to hit the ball on the floor, because the time that the goalkeeper need to go on the floor, most of the time is goal.
I have a question. As a kid, who was your favorite player?
You may not remember, you may not ever heard. He's now president of Liberia. Did you ever heard of George Weah?
No, not
yes,
yeah.
Yes, he used to play for Milan, PSG. I think he did play for Man City, maybe, I'm not sure. But yes, big player. Ballon d'Or. I can't remember the year, but you were not born. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jordan, you have any question, Jordan?
Where is Jordan?
Jordan, you hear?
No.
No, Peter?
Yeah.
Come on, Peter.
What?
Any question, buddy?
I already asked a question.
Oh, yeah? Another one now?
So may I have one question for you guys?
I have a question.
Yeah, let's Louis Saha asking first question before you guys go in the another one.
Yeah, yes. So what do you think is the most important thing when you are like in training? What do you think that is like the most important element of your training? When you start in a session, what is your target? What is the most important target that you have during the training session?
Work hard, probably.
Working hard, probably, to get better.
Yes.
Have the right mindset. To be
focused.
better than your better than your yesterday self.
Yeah, always be focused.
I like that. This is it, guys. Every day, there is no one day you don't have this target. Basically, every single day, it's about improving. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel sick, even if you feel unhappy, it's all about improvement. And you will pick up that thing and you put it in your life as well. In your life, you do the same. Every single day, there is something to learn.
Awesome advice, guys. Awesome. Anis, I want to see your question, buddy.
What was it like playing on the French national team?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What was it like playing on the French national team?
Training on the French national team?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was special because you can have a kind of relationship with legends. You know, I managed to get into the national team in I would say, I'm not saying that this team is not as strong, but there is no kind of codes before. If you want to enter in national team, you need to play for 2 seasons to get picked, you know, for national team. Now you do 10 good games, like score 4 or 5 goals, and you can be picked in national teams. Before, it was not possible. So I really had to work really, really hard to get my chance. So when I arrived and I had the time, I don't know if you remember, but players like Desailly, Zidane, Deschamps, all those were like already World Cup winners, 29, 30, 31 plus. So like big characters, big ego. When you arrive there, you feel very small, you know, okay, there are big guys, I know that. But actually the thing that I learned was that those guys just want the same as I just said before. They just want to improve. And whatever they had already successes or whatever, they wanted to improve, enjoy, and that's it really. So I really enjoy straight away, and I say, oh, hang on a minute. They want to represent the country the best way possible. They want to win games. They want to improve. Yes, I like that. Okay. So that's it.
I have a question.
What was your like best game to you, like you've ever played in?
Oh. I would love to say that I had good games, many good games. But if I do pick one, I had one game where I scored 4 goals. But I like the one that I played my first Premier League games with Fulham against United. I scored 2 goals. I really like this game because yes, I felt really light. I felt really that nobody could touch me. So it's not something you come across very often, apart from Messi, who's doing that every week. But I'm sure that yes, any player who feels this way, where everything is in slow motion, where you have like, you know, they're so slow and you do all the damage you dream in your sleep. Yes, it was the game against United at Old Trafford. It was just amazing.
I have a question. Since you played with Zinedine Zidane, what is probably like the most frequently move that Zinedine would do, like playing and training against you guys?
Yeah, I think his best skills was his control. You know, every control that Zizou does is just perfect. You know, it's like, and he was doing the roulette. I don't know how you say it, you know, that when you take it, drag the ball left and take the right. Then, I mean, like, it was one of the best dribbler in this planet on a way that it's like effortless. I mean, like, Kleber, you won't like this one, but I remember one game, 2006 World Cup. Yeah, I swear to God. I swear to God, my God. It was the first time, as a player, I was on the bench, but as a player, it was the first time I was watching a player, only one. It was like Zidane actually destroyed Brazil on his own. I just like, I was in shock because it was just too good. I mean, like, yeah, you can't explain. You know, I've seen like so many good performances from players, but this one was just too much.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go
What
ahead.
motivated you to become a soccer player?
Competition. If I ask you if somebody will put any game in front of me, I want to win. And basically, my friends, my parents, always like putting a game in front of me, saying, "Oh, let's go to the park. There is like all the players here. Let's see what you do." And then I just want to win. So I was like a very big competitor. And I would say like time to times it went worse. You know, I wanted to win, wanted to be the best that I could. And I felt like football was so natural because in my neighborhood where I had like pitches from football, basketball, and other sport like tennis, we will do every sport. So I was pretty good at every sport, but football was like more numbers in some way. You know, I was like challenging with more competitors, so I really liked it.
I have a question. Who was your favorite teammate that you played with?
The best one?
Who was your favorite teammate that you played with?
Yeah, I really love to play with Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney would do the running instead of me. Yeah, he had like so much stamina. He could do the defending for me. So I really like that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Kellen,
Thank you.
you have any question, Kellen?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Who was your idol growing up?
Sorry?
Who was your idol growing up?
Yeah, I said that it was George Weah. I don't know if you know who he was, but it was an ex-player from Paris Saint-Germain and Milan. And my dad as well. I really think that he built my my bad spirit, I would say, my spirit of a competitor. So yes, it was always try to do well, and yeah. So I would say George Weah and my dad. Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Peter.
What was the hardest national team to play against?
I used to dislike to play against Germany. In a way that yeah, there is like actually two teams, Germany and Portugal. I don't know why. With the young youth category as well, it was always very hard and two different styles. The German was like very physical and organized, you know, and I don't like that. I like the people who think that they are stronger, but when they are organized, it's really tough. And Portugal is the same, but they were very technical. When you play against Portuguese team, as like maybe Brazilian, for example, it will be easier because these football are really they like to play forward. So mainly they have more space at the back. So I was like more enjoying. But Portuguese, like most of the time, they are not very strong at forward. So they are very organized defensively. And sometimes they're very technical. And so I really dislike those two teams. But yes, if I remember, I always like find it hard against those two national teams.
Good boys. Somebody has another question?
Saha, how are you? My name is Phil. I also work with Kleby.
Nice to meet you.
Really appreciate you coming on and taking your time out of the day to talk to us. Question I have for you is, can you give us a glimpse into what your childhood was like at 12, 13, 14, 15? Like how much training did you do with your team? How much did you do on your own, away from the field, like with your buddies? What was that like?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Basically, if we had like 24 hours, I would say I had to sleep like 6-7 hours. Every single thing was cool, and then it was sport. I mean, like as I said, we had like 3 different sports in my neighborhood. One with 10 to 13. All the time was like tennis, like football, and basketball. So I had competitors everywhere. So I would have done a lot of competition, even on the way to school, after school, going to the game, going to the training. Sorry. So basically, you have like 2 sessions a week, and the Saturday or Sunday a game or tournament. But in between, all the time. I mean, like there is no, at the time there is no PlayStation, there is no Twitter or Instagram and stuff like this. The only thing that we had it was sport. So I couldn't remember myself like wasting times in anything else than just doing my sport. I mean, like I was obviously very obsessed, but I didn't have any alternative. So PlayStation, FIFA, all this, forget it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So I was really into competition. So build my body, my coordination naturally by being outside. Really, it was like all type of games. Yes, school was very, very important as well because my parents were very hard on me on that. I had to pick up my grades every time, making sure that I come back home with some good grades. Otherwise, my dad simply knew how bad I was as a competitor. It will stop me to go to the sport. I will have I just go mental. So it was just not possible for me. And at the time, as I told you, there were no FIFA, no Fortnite, nothing. So you were dead at home, So I mean that guys, and then when I arrived at Clairefontaine, I was 13, 14. It was all about football, but in a camp.
Thanks.
Great answer. That's a great. Yeah, boys, we need to be careful with that technology we have today. Like Saha said, and when you was young, we don't have that technology. And then now you guys have a probably affect everyone to increase his quality on the soccer. Make you sure when you guys in a home, when you guys in a outside the home, take away for the technology and then having fun with the ball.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah, it's very important because he bring down the amount of time that you have to train, to challenge yourself, to understand the bounce of the ball, to understand the speed of the ball. All those little details make a massive difference. And now you have to remember there is a lot of competition. It used to be like a few players, but now everybody wants to be a football player. I mean, everybody, even your parents, even your parents want to be.
Any more questions, boys? No, Gunnar, you have another question, Gunnar?
No.
Our striking. Let's go, boys. We need like a question for strikers. We need good advice for Saha for us, boys.
I have a question.
Yes, Kellen.
What was it like for all the players on the bench when Zidane got the red card in the World Cup finals?
Whoa, good one, tricky one. This one.
Yeah, Saha. Take that one, buddy.
Tough one. You know that basically all through the tournament, I had the chance to be seated really close to Zidane at the back of the bus. So when you have that sensation to be part of something special, because those guys at the back of the bus are Makelele, Zidane, and all the players were planning before games how they're gonna win that games and shut down the critics in the press. It was just amazing to see the motivation. And I totally understood that Zidane was in war. He wanted so bad to win, to shut down, and to leave the competition on the highest level. You know, he would have been considered like God, you know. And arrived to that final where basically he has put us on this final. He's done, I mean, like magical games after magical games to arrive to the final. So he was in that mood. You could feel, you know, he was just like very possessed in some way. And you are on the bench, you don't even realize that he's done such a thing. The things went so fast, you don't understand. I couldn't really grasp the moment. I said, no, he didn't do that. No. And all the things is going blank. And to be honest, guys, I may have like since it's nearly 20 years back now, I don't know, 2006, yeah, nearly 14 years back. So I don't remember maybe seeing these images, this footage more than 5 times. I don't, because for so much respect that I had for the player, I know this is not the thing I want to remember from him, because he done so much for the game. That's not Zidane. That's not even him. Yes, that's him because he's got a bad character, a very bad temper. He can do things for sure. But his World Cup on this it was just a shame. So he arrived in the dressing room. He was down and you know, like a very small voice say sorry, but he was like so strong in his charisma. Nobody would say anything. Like nobody said anything to Zidane. Say, oh, why you've done that or something like this, because everybody knew that we owe him a lot.
I have a question. So I saw that you only got to play like 20 minutes of your game and you scored 4 goals. What was that like? To have like limited time and score 4 goals in the World Cup.
Sorry?
What was it like to score 4 goals in like 20 minutes in limited time for you?
I don't think I recall this. For sure, I didn't score in the World Cup, so I don't know which event. Maybe World Cup in FIFA, but I don't remember this. I would have wished to have scored in World Cup, but yeah, maybe I scored 4 goals against Blackpool. That's the thing I do remember, and this is like the special moment, as I explained, where you are in your zone and you feel like anything that you're gonna do is gonna work. Doesn't happen often. But, yeah.
Awesome,
so what do you have? I've got a question for you guys. What is the difference between your feeling about confidence? How you use that? What is how you, because on the other side there is pressure, okay? But how you use the word confidence to help you in your game? and how you control that, because I will explain after what I think about that.
That's a good one, boys. Uh-oh. Come on, guys.
Wait, for what? What was the question? Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, the question is like how you use the word confidence, you know, the confidence aspect, you know, like starting a game, how you maintain confidence, how you deal with this word.
If I do something wrong, I don't focus on that. I worry about the next play and move on forward.
Nice.
Come on, boys. We need answers. Let's go.
You are showing less confidence, guys, there.
Yeah.
Probably by like forgetting about the last play and trying to make a better decision on the next play.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Mateus.
Like, focus in the moment. Don't forget about the past.
Like if you're playing like a tougher team, like older or like something like that, to like they're just human beings too. So it's like don't focus on like their height or like their strength, and just play what you like now.
Nice.
Like focusing on the weight of the ball and how it's played and like what technique you're using to hit it.
Nice. And how you maintain your confidence when you've done something brilliant, when you actually feel really
I tried to forget about the play and keep playing on.
Okay.
Or if my teammate does something good, I try and give them confidence by saying, nice job.
Nice, good this, because what I'm very interesting to hear about the word confidence. Some people, even your coach, may dislike sometimes your expression. The way you express confidence could go around arrogance sometimes, and you could be like very shy, but on the same way you're inside very confident in your ability. And this is very important, that sometimes you be like able to control that. It's a very important factor to be a professional, is to control your emotion. You know, like some people may feel very confident and they do something really good, and they do too much because they are too much. So you really have to understand how to control your emotion and to use it to actually, because if you look at two great examples, is Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Those two players are super confident. One may be showing that he's almost arrogant in some way. People may say Cristiano, he likes to show and all that. But the guy is humble because he works so hard to maintain his confidence where it is. You know, it's like he's still doing like things where he's humble enough to say, listen, if I don't work hard, it's no point for me saying that I'm the best or whatever. So all this is about like trying to maintain his confidence right here. Dang. And this is for me, even me as a professional, I couldn't keep up with him because of his confidence, how he managed his emotion. I could be some games, because it's totally normal to be not so comfortable because last week I didn't score and all that. Him, you could see that he doesn't care. Really was super strong because he was like very focused on what you just said. He used that perfectly. But in the same way, where he's like a lot of confidence, he maintained. I don't know how he done that. I was very, I am still very, very impressed with that, because he was younger than me and he was showing like really control emotion. Even like, remember Kleber, when like all the British guys, you know, like the Rooney, the Giggsy, the Scholesy, the Roy Keane were coming to him and saying, you should do that. And he was like, okay. and still very confident, still gonna dribble, still gonna do the way he wanted, and managed to be better because understand, like take to learn, and this is amazing. I mean, like he was so young, but still he managed to be super confident on his ability, but on the same way, very humble because he was working so hard. So I was impressed. I'm still impressed.
Yeah, that's a great story. That's that group you have in Man United. You have like a very strong personality, the players, and then it's unbelievable how Cristiano is still like keep the same direction and
Oh
not
yeah.
like affecting him, even the opponents, and he's still
Yeah.
like doing his stuff. He's doing
Unbelievable.
brilliant.
He's a machine. He's a machine.
Somebody has the last question before you say bye for Louis. Who has the last question?
I do. Yes.
Yep, go ahead.
What was it like playing with all the GOATs, the greatest players of all times that faced you in 1v1s or in moments in the World Cup?
Sorry, who?
Like playing with your teammates, like versus Coach Kleberson in a game or something like that. What was it like?
Uh-oh.
So not Kleber. Maybe Jamie or Mike is not great.
Jamir,
Can you repeat?
Could you repeat your question, Ramir?
What was it like playing against like people that you know, like Coach Kleberson in like games?
Who's the last one you said?
Like, what was it like playing against people that you knew, like personally, like Man United, like Coach Kleberson in games in the World Cup?
Ah, okay, yes. You know, you tend to forget who you're facing really, friends or friends. As I said, I just don't like to lose. So I like a bit of banter. So of course, you know, you check how they are. You know, it's like. But when the whistle blow, I forget. I'm just like very honest player, so I'm not here to hurt anybody and all that. But if I can making sure that you're gonna lose, I'm gonna do it. That's for sure. So I never really feel sentimental about any player when I face them. No. I'm probably maybe extra motivated. I'm not even sure, but I will feel like I don't want them to come back to me and haunt me and with banter, you know. And that's yeah. Yeah, but it never been in a bad spirit. So yeah. I don't think that I really pay attention that much about the other players. Yeah, it was part of the team more. Yeah, I would think so.
Awesome.
I got a quick one maybe to wrap up with. You've achieved a lot, obviously. If you could go back in time to yourself at 12, what advice would you give to yourself?
Oh, it's a great one. No, to be honest, I will definitely try to do the same because my advice was always, as I said, to try to improve. What happened to me, particular, I had that declic where I wanted to be, myself, to be authentic. You know, this is the most important element. At some point, when I was maybe younger, I wanted to be someone for someone. You know, for my dad or. You know, and this didn't work out because I wasn't myself. So the better I was in line with who I was, who I wanted to be, was better because I knew that I really love and I was really proud of what I was achieving because it was exactly what I wanted. It's not super easy nowadays for the youngsters because there is a lot of things out there. It's like a lot of stuff to be distracted with. As I said, I didn't have like the FIFA, the social media and all that. Maybe, you know, I could think about my friends and the silly thing that we could do and all that, but that's it. Really, it was the only thing. So I could say the advice that it was just like being able to be very focused on your dreams. You know, always like I'm not say that I had a definite dream and say I wanted to do this or achieve that, but I wanted to be able to look back, work really hard, and look back and say I done my best. And that is the most important thing, because whatever you succeed or not, you've done your best. So it's no regrets. There is frustration because yes, you haven't managed to be a professional or score goals or do this or do that, but you've done your best. So when you look back, you say, good.
Awesome.
Great answer.
Awesome, Luis. That's a great answer, man. Awesome. Luis, man, I want to say thank you for you guys.
No, it was a pleasure.
To jump here and then share like something like a very important for us. You made a lot of good things for the kids, especially for the age. You know, the age like that's the time the kids has to be loved to play soccer, but also like work hard in your dream to prepare to be a pro. You know, I think that's a very great opportunity. Thank you very much for participating.
A pleasure.
All right. Stay safe.
Stay safe, guys.
Stay safe, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be there in a
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.